Okay, I said in the previous video, I've got the FM working really well now. I'm very pleased with its performance. It seems sensitive, sound quality is good, there's no distortion. One thing I would notice is the sound's much better with the back off it, which is a shame. You get a much better bass response, but it's by and by really. I'm trying to get the medium wave to work, or no, the medium wave works really well, but I'm trying to get the oscillator on frequency, and as you can hear here on long wave, that's the Rosen Schwartz generating a I think it's actually generating an FM frequency, is it? No, it's AM frequency. That should be 198 kilohertz, or just under 200 kilohertz. Well, it's 200 kilohertz, and that's how far it is off. And it's the same with all the AM bands. They're all off by the same amount. So it suggests that you could probably alter it with the moving of the pointer, but I don't like doing that. There's no reason why the pointer would have moved. You see it goes to the end of the scale on that side. And it does the same on the right hand side as well, so I don't think anything's moved there. Looking at it inside, it doesn't look like it's possible for it to slip. So looking at the circuit diagram here, this is the circuits for all the turret changes, and these circuits interface with the front end of the radio to give you the right response, and it shows the rest of them here. Now this is all the front end. Now if you think this is wrong and I'm saying anything wrong, please correct me, because I'm going to go in here and have a bit of a twiddle and see what I think. This looks like the RF front end. This looks like this. We've got the gang tuning here, and you can see with these dotted lines showing the gang tuner on the AM section. This is the RF amplifier section. That's the RF amplifier, and this is the local oscillator. So I'm looking for L4. I want to bring L4 into range so it gives me the correct reading on the scale, and then I'm going to have to readjust L1 and match probably this C7. Is that the trimmer? Yeah, it's a trimmer capacitor there, and probably another trimmer capacitor here if it's got one. Doesn't look like it has, to get the RF section back into alignment again, and then hopefully we've got the scale in calibration. It is interesting that this radio, I know it's got a good following, but it looks like every single alignment I've come to is out. I mean, the FM was badly out. The local oscillator was out on the FM. The scale calibration is poor on the radio. Now, I'm not sure if that was like that from the word go, but if you look at the scale, it gets a very vague dial, 96 and 108 there. Well, where's 102? Is it there? Is 102 there, and that's 103, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's difficult to say. So I'm not too worried about that. It'd be nice if it's a bit closer, but it all seems to have all been bunched up one end. Now the scale linearity on the AM bands looks pretty good, and that's what it looks like this set's concentrated on. It's concentrated on being a good AM performer, which it is, but the local oscillator is obviously running off. So when I'm feeding in, for example, earlier on I was feeding in 12.2 megs on the shortwave band, and it was tuned to roughly here. So it's a long way out, and it needs going through and checking. So again, if anyone's got a alignment procedure, I'm not interested in schematics and things like that. I've got those, thank you, but I need the alignment procedure. I've sort of tried to sort of work out from the earlier models like the 210 to work out how they do the alignments, and I think I'm sort of on the right ballpark, but the correct alignment procedure would be good. Still on the VHF FM band, the AFC circuit doesn't seem to pull in correctly. It's doing better than it was before, so that shows I'm obviously in the right ballpark, but it doesn't quite pull in on VHF. It doesn't quite pull it in, so not the end of the world, I must admit, but it would be nice to get that correctly aligned as well. But apart from that, the radio is working really well. I haven't had to replace any capacitors. All the capacitors I thought that might have been sort of a bit high ESR seem to be absolutely fine. I've sort of patched capacitors across various other sort of capacitors I thought were leaky or dry, and I haven't got any improvement at all. So, but you have to bear in mind this set is, even though it's not sort of like 60s, 70s, it's in the 80s. It's still what, 25, 30 years old, but it's not an old set like some of the stuff I've come across. And the Russian transistors, I've heard a lot of sort of scare stories about these transistors this particular set uses, that the transistors just rot away and just rust off. Well, this set's been looked after and it's been stored in a dry place. I don't think that's going to be a problem on this particular radio. Lots of horror stories about the electrolytics. Well, all the electrolytics seem to be okay in here. I haven't had it running on mains, so I don't know what the smoothing caps are like. But I'm going to assume they're the same condition as all the other capacitors, so they're okay. And I've seen a couple of write-ups in various forums saying that the some of the non-electrolytics go open. Well, maybe, but and that could be explaining why the the set's running so far off frequency. They might have drifted or something, but I would expect a capacitor to go totally open circuit. The set wouldn't work at all, and it is. It's working certainly on medium wave pretty well. So I'm going to have a twiddle with this, and it won't be this evening. It'll probably be tomorrow, and see if we can pull the scale linearity or the scale calibration in. So we basically want to end up with this frequency just there. So thanks for watching. Interesting radio, and I've got a hacker on the way, and that will be the next one for restoration. Thanks for watching.